I would like to share the story of the time I went on 2 dates with a flat earther, unbeknownst to me until the end of the second date. And I actually met him in real life while trying to escape a bad date with a guy from Hinge who ended up having a girlfriend, but was like not a real girlfriend, like was actually a pen pal that I don't even think he had ever met. And I was so confused because this person was attractive and I was trying to convince him. I was like, you really don't need to like have a pen pal girlfriend that like you don't really know. And like, I don't think they've ever met, or if they've met like one time and she lives like in a different, like it was like wild to me. The hoops this man was jumping through. And I was like, you look like a normal person. I don't understand why you're acting like an incel. And I was like trying to tell him like during the date, and he kept bringing her up too. And I was like, why wouldn't you told me this beforehand? And he was trying to say it was some sort of like open relationship situation because they lived in different places. I was like, but that's not a relationship. She's your pen pal. And I was like, listen, you're like an attractive, like normal young person. You don't need to be like dating bitches who live in wherever. And he was like, don't call her a bitch. First of all, you know I didn't mean it. Like I was just talking. I obviously don't know this woman, and neither do you. Actually, I don't know your girlfriend and neither do you. So that is crazy. Of course I didn't call her. I don't know her. No one does. I just remembered this man gave me this book. It's a sick book, okay? Because I was talking about, this is when I was like really like into watching hip hop documentaries and studying hip hop. It's like a rap history book. It's like I know this is going to appear backwards, I think, on TikTok, but it's basically every like best rap song of the year since like 80s or something. It's a sick book. Weird thing to do for a bitch who's not your girlfriend. Just gonna say, like, what? Anyway, so after he says, don't call her a bitch, I literally was like, I can't take this anymore. We were in like a bar with like with a band playing, and on our way in, you know, I'm a Pisces. I have a way of clocking people who are, I don't know, noticing me, looking at me, whatever. I noticed on the way in a guy kind of just like looking into my soul, and I just, you know, it's just something I noticed. Like I just noticed when that's happening. So that was a very spur of the moment decision for me to leave. And I want to be clear, if it's not clear already, because I understand this could be confusing. These are two separate men, okay? I was on the date with this one guy whose name I don't remember. I never remember names of past people, actually. It's kind of an issue for me. Or maybe like a coping mechanism. But I was leaving this man at the bar like very abruptly, which I was maybe a little bit nervous about. Like, I don't think I'd ever really done that before. I have since. But I basically like just set my drink down and stormed out and like hoped on a prayer that it wasn't going to be the most awkward thing ever. And so I remember walking out of the hallway and like out of the building, and then outside there's like people hanging out outside, like talking, like chilling, like maybe smoking, I don't even know. And I see the guy, and this is all spur of the moment shit, okay? I see the guy that I remember had looked at me before, and he kind of just like seems like my type, and I just seem like his type. Like it's just something that I know these things. And I literally, I look at him, I walk past him, I say, hey, come with me. I'm like, I need to talk to you. Like, I'm trying to run away and hide from somebody. And he's like, okay. We start walking. And that is Riz, okay? And I do want to be clear about that. At the same time, he ended up being a flat earther. So what do I really know? What do I really know? Me, like, visually, like, the style, the aesthetic, everything. I was like, yeah, okay, like, I was maybe more attracted to him than the guy I was on the date with in the first place. I probably was. And I was like, yeah, like, come with me. I'm trying to get away from somebody. You know what I mean? And he was like totally down. We end up going for a walk. We start talking. What's so funny is we end up walking back because I was waiting for homeboy to leave the establishment and like go somewhere else. And he was like texting me, but I'm obviously not going to pick it up because like you're a weirdo. So me and this guy that I just met are like walking around talking. We end up like walking back down, going to the pizza shop, like having like a low-key little like spontaneous date sort of situation. He has like friends there who are like still kind of like in the establishment, like listening to music, whatever. And then we're like outside, like chilling, and literally the musicians from the club who were like right there when I had like set my drink down with the other guy and stormed out, they are walking out of the establishment and they're walking past us and they go, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Like, you look so good together. Like, how long have you been together?" Or something like that. And we were like, "Oh, whatever." Like, it's like, you know, it's a weird night. You just take what you can. You know what? You know when it's a weird night and you're like, "Oh my god," you know? It's one of those. And, yeah, so it's all fine, whatever, like, end of scene 1, okay? You know, obviously, like, we exchange numbers, yada, yada, I go home, he goes home, like, whatever, we're texting for, like, maybe a couple days, and then we end up going on a date. We went to this arcade. It was fun. It was lit, like, he was, like, kind of odd, though, but, like, in a funny way. Like, in a way that I thought was, like, kind of funny, kind of endearing. Until I went and I asked, "What's your most controversial opinion?" He said, "The earth is flat." I said, "Wait, for real?" Like, I had never met this was maybe a couple years ago. I had never met a flat earther before in real life. And I was like, "Well, like, why do you think that?" And he was like, "What proof do you have that the earth is round?" And I was like, "I don't know, isn't there like satellites and stuff?" And he was like, "Yeah, but who controls the satellites?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know how to rebuttal that." Like, anyways, unfortunately, flat earthers are very prepared for the argument in a way that you are not, okay? So, obviously, I'm stunned, shocked, concerned. You know, I go home and obviously, like, you know, he texts me again and I kind of just dwindle off. But what's funny is the original guy, the one who gave me this book, who had a girlfriend in frickin', I don't know, San Diego, San Francisco or whatever, he ended up hitting me up, like, not that long after, asking me to go to a concert with him to be his +1. And he was like, "Yeah, I just have these tickets to this thing, and, like, I would love for you to come with me. Like, I know things ended weirdly the last time, but I would love to give it another chance." Sorry. Yeah, I obviously didn't go. It was a very odd experience, and yeah, that's my story. Hope you enjoyed.